924 here, Big 550, KTRS. Jane Duker, John Deal, and Chad Garrison from the Riverfront Times. The board meeting continues, our last one of the year. And on January 25th, there were two movies that were going to be released. Unbroken, which is a great movie. I don't know, actually, it's a great book written by Laura Hillenbrand. And they've turned that into a movie. And the other one was The Interview, which is a stoner movie about two stoners who are actually asked by the CIA to kill the head of North Korea. It has now been confirmed that North Korea has hacked into Sony. Sony has now pulled the movie, and the entire country is now bowing down to North Korean hackers who are afraid that going to see this movie in a movie theater might cause some harm. We have become a nation of wimps if we allow this to stand. John Deal.
I agree. What a wimpy move. I mean, North Korea can't even keep the electricity on at night. And yet somehow I guess we allow them, or that they can get access to hack into Sony's computers. But who cares? All right, so some movie stars' names get released and some threats get made. I mean, if we start allowing terrorists, a cyber terrorists and hackers overseas to control what we watch and see on TV, what if they come in now and say, well, we're going to shut down Fox News or MSNBC, or we're going to start hacking everything? Are we going to start doing that, or news outlets?
It's really ridiculous. It's really a question of where does this end, and who actually has the power? Does the crazy hacker in your grandmother's basement have all the power?
Yeah. Sony needs to
Chad?
Man up and show
I think this is the
movie.
best thing that could possibly happen for this film, actually. I think that, probably, I don't know, 1 out of 10 people maybe wanted to see this movie before. Now the whole nation wants to see this movie, and it's going to come out at some point, whether it's like straight to DVD or if like HBO takes it
Set
or
up
something
a hacker
like that.
site and post it on there like some.
Well,
like
there is actually
internet.
talk of them actually having some type of special on demand where you pay $20 and you get it sent straight to your house.
Right.
And I bet they make more money through that than they would have at the box office.
Well, if you're a movie theater, I think you have to be afraid, because that looks like that might, if that's the future of how we're all going to watch movies.
Right,
movie theaters have just ruined themselves going forward.
Well, and that's what I found interesting, is that the movie theaters were the ones who said they weren't going to show it, which in fact, prompted Sony to do this. And I thought, wow, movie theaters, you're just cutting your own throat.
Right.
Why are you doing this? You're self-censoring. I mean, I agree. I think Sony should release it. I think the movie, and if some movie theaters don't want to show it, then that's on them. But I think there will be some that will, and they know that it will make a lot of money. And I agree, it's going to be a smash hit no matter what. And let's go. And I can't believe we're at this point where in America I mean, this is First Amendment, and we're allowing like another country to censor us.
Not just another country, North Korea.
Right.
And Sony said we're not even going to talk about it anymore.
Right.
I mean, they pulled all.
They're so traumatized by
references.
their internal dirty
Well,
laundry.
they've had some problems.
Which in their internal dirty laundry now, nobody really cares about that anymore because they know it was the bad actors. And,
But has anybody
North Korea?
Has anybody met anybody who said, "Oh, I really want to go see that movie, but I'm afraid"?
Yeah.
I haven't met one
I mean,
person who thought they were afraid to go see the movie.
It wasn't the first theater that said they weren't going to do this. Well, like it was in like Times Square or something like that.
Well,
It was
they
in New
canceled
York.
the New York premiere.
The New York premiere,
and
okay.
then that sort of highfalutin, high-end movie chain in California said, we're not going to show the movie. And then that's how it started.
snowballed. Yeah.
Right. So now I guess every movie we have to be afraid if somebody doesn't like it and there's a hacker out there that the movie theaters are going to cave and then the studios are going to cave. And I just think it's a horrible precedent. And
Do you think we can get the hackers to hack into the state government computers and threaten us by saying that if Jay Nixon goes to work, they'll do serious damage to the state, so we can somehow force him not to show up for the next 2 years?
Yeah, you're very warped. You're just very
I'm staying
warped.
away from that.
Wow. I mean, you sat up all night thinking of that
well,
one,
look,
didn't you,
well,
McGraw?
I mean, look, if that's the way we're going to run the world now,
Well, no, that's
with hackers
right.
who we're afraid. We got on planes after 9/11.
Right.
And we saw...
Because we said don't let them win.
Right. But yet, oh my goodness, North Korea, who this leader tells his own countrymen that he doesn't defecate. And
they believe it.
And they believe it. This is the man we are afraid of.
Right.
He
right.
defecates on The Interview, though.
He does.
Defecated all
Well,
over that.
and where is Dennis Rodman when
Well,
we
and
need
also,
him? I mean, it's
think
time
one
for him to step up.
I think his dad shot like a 26 on his first round of golf.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
So,
pretty. I didn't know North Korea had golf courses.
He killed his uncle, fed his uncle to the wolves.
To the Lions, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has labor camps in which people are born into these labor camps. And the only reason why we know about these labor camps is for the few people who have escaped from these horrific labor camps.
Right.
And this is the man
He's winning.
we are bowing down to.
Winning.
It's almost like Superman 2 with Gerard, right, where we bow down because Superman lost his power.
It's sad.
It's crazy. All right, we'll come back. We'll try and solve the world next hour with a couple of other. Well, we also talk Cuba. I want to talk Cuba.
Yep.
And I also want to talk something else too. The Bosnian woman who faked her own crime. We'll talk about that too. Coming.